Yo, what's up guys, and I have just finished coding Conway's Game of Life on my Minecraft computer. But what am I going to do next? Well, I've decided to code chess on my computer. I assume that most of you understand how chess works, but for those who don't know, give me 30 seconds to explain. There are two teams, each with 6 types of pieces. The rook can only move horizontally and vertically, the bishop can only move diagonally, the queen can move vertically, horizontally, and diagonally, the king can move only one square in any direction, but it's the most important piece. The pawn can only move one square, and it can only attack diagonally. The knight moves in a 2x1 L in any direction. If there is a piece in the way, you cannot move past it. You can only take pieces of the opposite color. The king cannot move into any position where he is attacked by an opposing piece. When you attack the opposing king, that is called a check. When you check the king and there's no safe spaces for him to go, that is called checkmate. Those were basically the general rules. There are a few other specific cases that I'll talk about when I get to them. Now let's talk about what aspects of chess I do want to code. I want to code the paths of each piece. So I want to be able to select a piece, give a position, a movement, and be able to tell, does that follow the path of the piece? Is that legal? I also need to code for any obstructions in the path. I need to figure out a way to be able to tell the computer when there is a piece in the way, it can't move past that. I also want to code some of the special cases. For example, if a pawn is on its first move, it's actually able to jump 2 spaces forward instead of 1. Also, if the king and the rooks have not moved, they're actually able to kind of swap places, called castling. And finally, I also want to be able to promote pieces. When a pawn gets to the opposite side of the board, it is actually able to turn into any other piece except for the king. One thing I do not want to code are the checks. Now, a simple check would be pretty easy to code, where I move a piece and see if the king is now in its line of sight. That would be pretty easy. Now, the tricky part would be things like moving into check or indirect checks. So for example, if I wanted to use my king to take a piece, but that piece is actually protected by another piece, then I can't take that piece. Or, for example, if I were to move a piece out of the way, and this actually puts my own king in check, and in order to code all this, I would basically need to simulate every single possible second move and see if my king ends up getting attacked. Now, this is possible, but it would be very time consuming because my computer is very slow. So I want to code the game of chess next on my Minecraft computer. Now, I want to code all of the legal paths and obstructions, but I am going to leave out anything relating to checks for the purpose of speed. So over the next few videos, I'll be recording my progress and explaining how I've done it, so stay tuned for those, and peace.